este maratón de negocio o crisis o creces. Muchas gracias por permanecer conectados. Han sido muchas horas, pero que realmente se han pasado muy rápido porque hemos tenido la presencia de panelistas increíbles. Acabamos de tener ahora una exposición de las personas que están haciendo el negocio en Brasil a lo grande. Y bueno, pues creo que ha estado muy buena el contenido hasta hoy. Vale la pena hasta repetirlo definitivamente. Y ahora vamos a hacer la presentación de otro de nuestros empresarios que normalmente nos da mucho gusto tener por acá, ¿o no, Diego?
Sí, la verdad que, bueno, y lo que falta todavía, veas, o sea, la verdad es que lo que falta, estamos a pedido de la gente, nos vamos a echar.
We will have 12 more hours by a request of the audience, but we're fine. I was thinking, I was looking at social networks, a coincidence that it is a coincidence that the Crew Dragon was launched. It's no coincidence that it is a we have our marathon because we will go way up high to the universe, to the moon. And now I will welcome a friend. I love him very much. I've spent hours and hours talking about the business. He has been a great support for us. Roque, Jasso, how are we doing? What's up? How are we doing? Nice talking to you. The same. What's up? How are we doing? Very pleased. Learning a lot and well. Waiting to start. Hungry. I haven't had lunch. Have a super mix because I see you have. Well, Rocky, you have an incredible guest, somebody who's growing a lot from Northern Mexico. I know you will have a great participation. I know what Patricia is doing also. I talk to her. She writes a lot to me, and you can tell she's thrilled. Roque, all yours. Diego, thanks everybody who's all entrepreneurs connected in this wonderful tool. And I'm Roque Jasso. I'm based in Guadalajara. I picked up a tea and from here. The land where I was born, capital of the world, as Jorge Vergara used to say. I knew Omnilife 28 years ago. My wife and I, we did it through my mother and sister. Like many people know, I was interested. I started to take it. I used to smoke a lot, drink a lot. I was very stressed because I was bad economically wise. I was just married at the time, and I was very embarrassed that my wife had to come up with expenses. But when they told me about the business, I understood it well. But I love the products. I started with Magnus, very energetic. In other countries, I know it's called by a cross. I worked in nights. I started to take Focus, Optimus for the brains, help me because I was forgetting things, because I was drinking. So we love the products, and this started. People saw what's happening, and they got caught on. And this extra money, that first money, opened the faucet for the business. We understood we sold a couple of products a day. That was easy for my wife. She knew many people. We would get out of our economic problems. From being here, we would go like this with the water. So now we were able to breathe. I realized that it was a very good product for people abusing alcohol. I knew many winos. She knew many fat people. There's a product to burn fat. That's how we started. So without knowing exactly what we were doing, then our sponsor went to Tijuana, explained to us how to come up, put together a network. We understood well. With the first check we had, an $11. The second was $150 a rent. That's what we were paying. 27 years after that, it's been a beautiful roller coaster. Now we have 3 children. The 3 of them take products since they were born. We live the way we always wanted to live, and that's a joy. Now that in these pandemics, I know having your own business is a blessing. Focus on health, two industries that keep growing. And during these 2 months, you get scared, but not scared, surprised how our business is growing. And Patty Galaris is, I will introduce her to you. She summarizes very well what's going on. She's a young woman living up north. I came to live to Guadalajara. I've been here for 20 years now. Patty lives up north. We started out not in Baja California, the north of Mexico. She lives in a neighboring state very close to Baja California. So let me introduce her to you about to tell you about what she does, for you to understand how in short time people gets very important results. Patty, good evening. How are we doing? Good evening. Fine. Waiting. Very excited. Give give us your resume. How old are you? How many kids you have? Well, I'm married. I'm 32 years old. I've been 13 years married. I have a 12-year-old kid, a 7-year-old daughter. I'm a housewife 100%, and I'm doing this from home, from my dining room, and from my cell phone. I mean, all the businesses via cell phone. Great. Tell us a little bit about, you have 1 year in Omnilife. How did you get to know it? Who introduced you? How did you decide to use? I understand you signed up and nothing happened 2 3 months. Well, I signed up with my Mayra, my sponsor. She presented to me the product, and I was doubtful about what I wanted to do. I loved it, and I signed up. I liked her voice very much, the way she is. So I stuck to her but this was personal consumption. I didn't want a business. I want my discount. I don't want to sell. I don't want to send. That's what we all say when we come here. I just want to buy it. I don't want to sell. Not everyone, actually, many people start as a business. A housewife who wanted to take the product. And during this year, many things have happened. The Patty from 1 year ago, what says to this Patty? I think keep it up, being stubborn. You're going to achieve many things. And I would tell her, keep it up with this attitude. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Has your life changed a lot this year? Yes. How? Economic stability, the way I am, my mindset, this has helped me to improve, to become a better person, being transparent, try to teach people. I like helping others. I started to realize I like helping people to achieve results. Obviously, this is this business about to achieve results, and I realized I have this power, and I exploited that. I didn't think I would have this grandeur. That's the word that comes to mind. Sometimes I surprise myself, and sometimes I tell myself, go, 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 don't stop, because I'm found. Well, a year ago, I imagine as a house you were not making money, or was, well, I was doing other things, but I never made what I'm doing here. I said, what was I doing in those other places? There, that was my fate being here. So 1 year later, you're making about 50,000 pesos, about a little bit more than $2,000. Now you're Premier Gold. Very solid, very strong positions, and many women like you, young mothers, you're qualifying for Paris, you went to Acapulco, you went to Extravagana, you came to Guadalajara. This year has been just madness, madness. I look at it, I don't believe it's been madness in my life. And sorry, with your house the same, no changes, your kids. Yes, I don't neglect my life, my children, my house. For those who are watching this, let me explain. Let's look at Patty's business and learn. So pay attention to this. Omnilife has 5 behaviors. Goal, the things you have to do to come to the business. Very easy. The first thing we were told, Jorge told, he taught us, take the product, use the product. Now we have two important things, health and beauty. Use the products, what you like. If you don't, you better don't sell. We don't want sales reps. We want convinced consumers. So when you use it, everything changes. First, use it, share it. Now we were trained how to talk with the others. You say you do everything via telephone, any way you want, any way you can. And when you talk to people, you will be selling product. And you will be find people, you will find people who want to do the same. As you said, take the product straight and then support that person who decides to sign up with you, providing the information they require, going along with them in this path. That's really cool when you do this. And the last one is training people to train others. What I think is the actual transformation when you decide to serve others, to change their lives. This thing you just said, Patty, is very powerful. Grandeur. The, Jorge used to say this a lot. We're all designed to have great success, not necessarily economic wise, feeling well with you. And today, this is rather scarce in our world. People don't believe in themselves, they believe more in money than themselves. But these 5 behaviors reflect into numbers. Somehow, they must show what you do, what you say, and they must reflect your business. So we have 3 ways to understand our business, to manage our business through points. This is value Omnilife products have, but we're talking 80, 90, 40 points. And the company, every time you buy product for yourself or to sell it, those will be called personal points. It is very important to tell the people who are listening to this for the first time that the company doesn't force you. There are no minimum purchases. This freedom is very important. You do whatever you want to do anywhere you want. Obviously, we have an ethics base. You cannot overprice. You cannot deceive. Something very easy, but there's no minimum purchase, and this is very important. So these personal points will reflect what you're buying for yourself and what you're buying because others say, I also want. And in this graph, if can I have the first graph? I don't know. For Miss kind of blurry. Patty, I don't see it, but okay, there it is. Okay, the points at the bottom. I hope can we zoom it up? But the dots at the bottom, how many points Patty is making every month? Year round since 2019, beginning of 2019 until beginning 2020. What we're going to see is a pattern. Patricia is buying between 2,600 up to 4,000 points. Some months it is more. She will tell us, but these personal points are very important. That's your first indicator of congruence. If you are going to talk about something, it is because you are using it. That is very important that you become an owner of catalog. People will look at you, oh, what a nice skin, Patty. Beautiful lips, Matty. Oh, you're so fit, more energetic. Today I saw a customer in the morning. She's very sick. We send her a product every day. I'm very pleased because she has lupus and knows we don't feel that bad. I'm energetic and people can tell. And they start to ask her, I'm sure this happened to you. Patty, in these personal points, what you're buying to Omnilife for your consumption to sell, what are the things you like the most? I like Magnus, Ego 10, I'm taking. Actually, I have it with Optimus aloe vera, how your body feels with aloe vera. I'm fan of Power Bake, vitamins, all those things that keep me healthy. I take it, and makeup. I don't use the whole catalog, but I can tell you that basically I have everything. I'm wearing it. You look very well. What is it what you like the most from cosmetics? If I was your girl, what is it? My favorite ones: the Concentra serum, the hydrating tonic, eye serum for those bags, the solar protection cream because we are living in a place that is really hot with a killing sun. Churns you out. I can go out very happy. I don't get burned. My arms probably, but not my face. Let me tell you that Patty lives and her family live in San Luis, Rio Colorado, Sonora. If you look it up internet, is the hottest city in Mexico. The coming months they will be between 45 and 52 Celsius. Sometimes I don't understand. I mean, you go out to the street and you think somebody exploded. There's a fire. Still, this impressive woman is making business in a tough place because it's way too hot to go out during the day. So she's been very skillful today via the telephone. The other thing is selling. What do you like to sell the most? How are you selling it? Well, people look at you. As you said, you have to become your own catalog. Oh, what a nice face. You don't. Sometimes I go out without makeup and say, I sell a lot of makeup. What I'm saying, what I love is what I'm selling. Use it. I know you love it. Actually, they use it and they fall in love with it. I'm promoted to be not to look tired, look healthy. Magnus, Thermogen, be fit. Not because you're a married woman, you're going to neglect yourself. That's what I'm selling the most. The shakes, cappuccinos, the serums will start to sell because we are going to die. We're going to dehydrate. We will survive, but another summer. But what else? I sell a lot of to be focused, even though sometimes I'm not. But how do you sell it? What do you sell it? You have two kids, a home, harsh sun outside. In the past, before pandemics, my big thing was the tea parties, organizing appointments, showing people the product that would arrive. I would have a fashion, and they were just surprised. And I would take the opportunity to show nutritionals, I would sell everything, and then I would finish with sign-ups. Those who want to get the discounts or want to start their own business, I always try to. As a business, is really good. And after all these, the pandemics will be a social networking. I mean, WhatsApp, calling people, those who use it, a lot of follow up. How are you doing? How do you feel? I can take the product. Customers, don't worry. I will take it to your house and showing in the networks of what you feel, energy, your face. Show it everywhere, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram. And that has worked a lot because people look at you and those who know you personally, you match what you walk the talk. And they want to see you. If the person this is actually and they say when they see you say, oh, it's true, you're not lying. And I think it's powerful. That is powerful because I'm not lying to the people. I'm showing, I'm recommending, I'm always recommending. Wherever I go, I recommend. Actually, there's people, oh gosh, here we go again. Yes, but what's the problem? I'm not hurting you. I'm trying to show you something. You look tired, you have a headache, you feel, I don't know, bad. I want you to have energy of being healthy. Yes, okay, that's very clear. You have adapted yourselves a clear signal of intelligence, adapting to situations. It is not the problem, the way you solve it. And it's something I love in your team, the people you have invited. We will talk about this joy, this willingness to solve things, and instead of being sad or worried, they say, what I'm going to do, all the things I'm going to learn. Thanks to this problem, I will have to create many solutions. So you, at the very beginning of the COVID issue, you start to work really hard. I've seen you, and it's really funny seeing you how you send out a lot of funny stuff. You're in touch. You share something very important in your group. You share tips about the things you find for people to get in touch. I will ask you to have the graph of the other types of points, the group points. These are the points of the people you invite to Omnilife. Not only the ones you invite, the ones they invite. In the case of Patty, Patty has two friends. She will tell us about them, how she invited them, who had developed a great business. One is Iracema, the other is Gloria. Gloria Diarte is in Iracema. So, as you can see, I think the yellow points, Patty? Yeah. The yellow triangles. PG is group points. You will see how at the beginning of Gloria, of Patty, business start to grow. And then just see the PLD. And we will explain, but Patty's group started to grow. That means she kept buying the same points, but her group has started to buy a lot of points, growing and growing and growing constantly. They're very steady. And there's a very simple principle. You will be able to sell 5, 10, 20 products, but you will be every day, but you won't be able to sell 500, 1,000, but you do it as a group. It is important to understand that these group points represent commissions, royalties, for you. In the case of Patty, the one who invites. So your group keeps growing, and then there's a drop when one person in your group goes to Supreme Silver. We won't touch on that later on. And then your group points continue, go up, come down, and go. Because the other person in your group jump up. But you said something. You finished last month with 14,000 group points. And I said, you better watch it because those are few. But in April, you ended with 14,000 group points. What are your group points now? 230,000 total. 28,000. From 1 month to the other, you doubled your group's production. Without your two big leaders, and you're still making some income, but how did you start your group? How did you get to know these individuals? Your lionesses, can you tell us? Well, when I started here, 1 month later, I told one of my friends, Gloria, that there was a membership to buy product, and she said, okay, let's go for it. We basically started at the same time. Well, I was above her. She helped me to go higher, faster. Then we get a call we are told about bonuses again. Same growth, the same. We matched, but in between, I invited another friend. She was looking for something. She's in the makeup business, and I said, okay, come here. Let me tell you about this makeup, using what you do. And she signed up, and again, we make a team. Sometime later, I meet Iracema because of a shade test. And she walked out with a registration for personal consumption. I remember when before life. But if I get close to you and you teach me, we might have a business. Okay. I never saw her as pressure, and show me, teach me, tell me how are you going up, and I train her to increase percentages. I always show her what I was doing for her to do it, because that's what you have to do. Here, you do something, train them, and that person will be able to train others. And actually, 2 days ago, she became Premier Gold, so she's in this level, and precisely today, Golda became Elite Gold, even higher than myself. And congratulations to both of them. And I have a very strong line. The wife of one of my husband's co-worker, we had a click. I always go for this to make it work. I never let her go until she took off, and this is a very well founded team, and I'm fascinated with this growth, and these are my leaders. 2 of them are leaders who can do everything on their own. The other 2 are starting. So the next level becomes, okay, here you just gave us a follow-up share. You may do it via telephone personally. It is not about technology. Yes, it is important to use it. We have to learn to use it. But at the end of the day, you must be clear on this. I want to help others how to do it, and I want to share. I want them to teach me how to do it, but I want to be there with them. I think follow-up is continue being friend of the people you invite, because it's an adventure that's going to give you joys, trips, health, joys because of the testimonies of it, and that, because at the end of the day, that's about being friends. So those are the group points, and something very exciting, Patty. What you have achieved since you started in Omnilife a year ago, the achievements. Can we go back to the graph for the rest of you guys to see it? those things, those points going up, and in January, December is not easy to people to focus in December, January. But you look, if you look at the trend, is always up, and during the last months, it's crazy up, and up. This means that you have trained your team to train other people. That's creating leaders, and this is very clear. You have two, you have more, but you have two who are very visible. In 1 year, they achieved the same things you did: a premier goal 2 days ago, an elite goal today. We woke up with that news, and when you feel this joy for other success, that means that you are successful as well. So you're closing this month. How many points do you think you will have at the end of May total? I don't know, probably 240,000, almost 250,000 points. Okay, those who are about, if we think each product has an average of 50, 60 points, we're talking of 5,000 products sold in Patty's organization. She started just a year ago. Remember one thing: the company doesn't force you to buy anything. You don't have minimum purchases. You can go to the store, buy one thing only. You buy whatever you want to use per what you sold or what they know they're going to sell. We don't have stocks. We don't ask people to buy. No, on the contrary, the company says you have many DCs, you have the web page, we can send it to your home without charge. The company is telling you buy whatever you need only. And this is more than 5,000 products in a single month. I don't know if you checked the figures. This just came to my mind, but thinking that in your organization, more than 150 products are sold on daily basis. Yes, my first product. How does it feel? It feels really cool. I'm going back to the same. You have the power of making people do big things. And doing this, I don't know, is something wonderful. It feels really good. And in a system where everybody wins, if you are, I don't know, let's say production supervisor, you're in charge of a business or an employee, and suddenly somebody tells you, you teach that person to work 6 months later, and that person tells you, hey, now I'm the manager, and you say, why not to me? You're going to make less, you won't be able to grow because you can only have one manager in a company. But when your goal, like in your case, and a friend of yours comes to you and says, I grew, the only thing you can feel is joy. Hey, you're more than me, but this means that you are making more and I am making more. What do you use your money? At first, I used to, and happy when I got the first checks. 20,000 pesos in 1 month, cool. And after that, I said no. I looked at my house. I want to improve my home because we do well. We are not. I mean, we're doing well. And I said, I want a better lifestyle. I want to improve those things you don't like in your home. I'm working very hard because I want to have a nice home. I love being here. And that space, use it as a home office to work with my people. Because that's going to help me produce more in this moment. That's what I want. I want to achieve that. That's when you were making 20,000. Now you're making 50,000. What may happen next year? What do you think? Next year, I want to have more leaders, stronger leaders, doing more things that come to my mind. I don't know. I want my children to go to nice schools. I want to have a lifestyle today. I'm going to do this. I will do it because I can. I work a lot to do it. I don't know. In this moment, we may go to this weekend to this city, or I'm going to buy a new car. I don't like the one I like have anymore. I'm going to help my family to have something to do in case you need it. Very good. So, your husband works for the Federal Electricity Company in Mexico. It's perceived as a secure job, good retirement pension, but there's a limit. Usually, you stay in the same position, and it's difficult to take higher positions because these are political positions. So I'm sure, I'm sure he feels very proud of having his family. He's doing well. We are doing well. What happened when you started with the Omnilife business? And you have two young kids. What happened there? I started here and I said it was a hobby because I'm a housewife and sometimes you get bored as a housewife. I must do something with my life, something that makes me feel satisfied. So I jumped in here. I realized I can get more and more. I started to take more time with my days suddenly instead of spending time with him or the kids. Not neglecting, and he started to understand this. I was qualifying for the rookie bonus and said, "You are not here to parties. Women come and go out of home all day long." So we have an argument because we didn't see big fat checks, 6,000, because I had to do some paperwork and I didn't get checks. And he would say, "What will happen to you? Aren't you going to be home anymore?" And I said, "Are you going to be busy all the time?" And I said, "No, I'm doing this because I like it. It is a satisfaction. You know what? Watch it. Are you?" He tried to limit, and I said, "No, no, no, no. All those boxes you have there are those." He didn't understand what was going on, so he told me, "What are we going to do? Is it going to be OmniLife, house, children? Give me a break. I'll show you I can." When he sees the first checks, I show him the checks because I had a big smile on my face, and I, I show him, "What are you laughing at? This is what I made in 1 month." And he was like, "This is not true. I mean, are you going to get all this?" "Yes, this is what they will pay me." "Are they going to deposit?" "Yes, they will deposit that." So he calmed down, he relaxed, he would let me do, yes, no, sometimes he wouldn't, "Don't go, yes." He would say, "No, no, no, you won't make that much." I don't know what he felt. He felt pressure. My wife is going to make more than me. I don't know. It's normal for a man. You may feel afraid, right? And then we have this thing, the Acapulco Rally. First, all the bonuses get rookie, supreme, silver, everything. And it was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, I can do this. Yes, and I will prove it to you and just give me the opportunity. And I start to explain we're going to live better. I will be able to help you because sometimes is you can't always have everything. We start. I remember when you come in for the rookie bonus, it was boiling. The air conditioning was down, broken. We're going to have how much is an air? Here, here you go. He was like, I'm. He was just baffled. Then I told him, there's going to be a rally in Acapulco. I was invited because I became Supreme Silver, and he said, do you want to go to Acapulco? And he was like, of course, let's go to Acapulco. And then we go to Acapulco. I remember I wanted to buy new drapes. Remember I told you? And you would tell me I had my money for my kitchen. And you told me, are you going to go to Acapulco to sign you up and the reservations for the rooms? And say, I have the money for my kitchen, I don't want to spend it. And you said, is that your dream kitchen? No. And they said, it's a good investment for myself, for my growth. A trip, something different. And off we went to Acapulco. And while we were there, paid rooms because I became Supreme Silver. You go into the room and you were like, wow, this is a lifestyle. And the whole Trinidad, my ceremony, this experience with you, Pepe Vergara, Sarit Fe, and even Caballero, I have a photo of that. And I liked the way I was treated, the transparency. We are leaders, but we are not more than you. We're all the same here. We ate everything really cool. Something I remember is that Sarife tells me when they were talking about international trip, Sarife tells me, where do you think next trip is? Do you have an idea? I said, I have no idea. Sarife asks, where would you like to go, Patty? What's your dream trip? And I said, I would like to go to Europe. And the destination is Europe, and I must go there. So, in that award ceremony, really cool. You're in front of a bunch of people sharing. I went with Mari because I was Supreme Silver. In all those things my husband experienced, being by the beach, he said, so you've done all this on your own? Yes, I've done this on my own. And he said, you mean that if we will continue with these lifestyles? Yes, we will continue with this. And became sentimental, and he said, go for it. Let's hit it. Let's go for it. What do you need? What do you need? Let's talk with it such and such. And I mean, so he gave me 100% support. I mean, overnight change. I mean, apparently, and now I felt I was in a team. I felt I was better with myself because I didn't feel this thing that a division. And from there, everything was 100% support on whatever you want to do whatever you have to do. When you can teach me and he's looking at what I'm doing, I mean, he would prepare. In the past, I had to force him basically. Now he takes person on his own. Now he recommends. Patty, excuse me. If I understand well, because I want to emphasize this that you're mentioning, these Omnilife events. Omnilife holds 2 mega events, corporate events organized by the company. One of them is Raleigh in the summertime, in different cities, in different countries. In the case of Mexico, it was in Acapulco. Then we have extravaganzas in February. It's like the main event where we gather in different countries, but then there's one in Guadalajara in our home, the stadium. Jorge dreamed the Chivas Stadium. He built it. That's where we gather for 4 days, and many people go there with all expenses paid. In your case, you came to these extravaganzas this February, and even though you learn a lot, as you said, you leave some of these things you're describing. Your husband, this eye opener, this head opener, his heart opener, he leaves fears out, insecurity, because it is very obvious that what you achieved in such a short time is a lot of abundance. Easy to say, but those who have a spouse, those of us who are married, we know how difficult it is when your spouse doesn't agree with you and there are these things, these comments that don't make us feel well. And you finally, in extravaganzas, you come with a group of people, and something happens not only to your husband, but the husbands of the leaders that came with you. Tell us about that. Yes, we have extravaganzas in February after all these things that happen, and they qualify because what you experience in Acapulco, they say, I want to the same because I came back with a lot of wonderful energy, a wonderful tan. So they qualified with their husbands, and these guys, these husbands, go supporting their wives. I, I'll go with you to Omnilife to see what it is about. It was in the big stadium, the Akron Stadium. They leave once the event is over. There was a dinner, talking, and it happened the same my husband experienced. Not the same, not the same, but I mean, as Gloria's husband said, their mind exploded. They decided to come support their wives 100% in their business, and now they work as couples, not only them, other couples from the network, and several of them came back the same, more committed, focused to achieve goals. I want this lifestyle, and they're working really hard because the results. You see this in the group points, but that we experience this. And now we have in September the rally in Mexico City. I know you're already making plans, but these minutes with you, Patty, for me, it's been a pleasure talking with you, interviewing you. And these days we have been talking. I met you a long time ago, but seeing those shiny eyes, and I really thank you for sharing, being so naive, so candid. There's a lot of work behind this. There are kids you have to look after. Sometimes it's difficult to mix everything. I congratulate you for this. I'm very proud for you being part of Omnilife, especially part of the group Vicky and myself started to create 28 years old. I, I see myself as Roque and Saritas in the future. To wrap it up, what do you want to say? Well, don't let others retain you. I was many times. I mean, are you crazy? I mean, what's they try to refrain you because they think you cannot achieve goals. The others don't think you don't have this grandeur to achieve things. Don't let them follow those who don't have energy. Go for it. Become a stubborn. That's what happened to me. I became 1,100%. I will do it because I will do it. I have had tough times. You don't agree with some people, but everything is a matter of attitude. How are you going to take things as you taught me, being transparent with the people? The only thing you want to do is for them to do well. And take a lot of Magnus to have a lot of energy, to talk even in your, from through your elbows. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, Patty. So I want to thank Omnilife for this invitation and really think Patty's example for many women, men who want to achieve goals and dreams. And we can do it in this business platform, Omnilife. We are a family as well. I want to thank the staff, obviously, everybody, Amori, Kenya, Diego, Yelena, the whole staff who are there, who haven't had lunch, the people at distribution centers, the DCs. Thank you, and everybody for the invitation. So long. Bye bye.
Gracias, Roque.
Thank you, Roque.
No, pues muchas gracias, Roque,
Well,
por la
Roque,
explicación.
thanks for the
Efectivamente,
explanation.
como lo
Definitely,
explicaste, está muy
as
estructurado
you
cómo
said
va la
before,
relación
is
entre
very
los
structured.
puntos
This
personales, los
relation
puntos de
between
grupo y los de línea descendente
personal
y que van
as
exponencialmente
descending line,
creciendo junto con tu
that's
cheque,
the
¿no?
relation, and
Pero también
how they
resaltar la
exponentially in
participación
your
de
check.
Patricia, que
And we want
definitivamente
to
me llamó mucho
emphasize
la atención,
Patricia's
estaba muy atento
participation.
escuchándola
I was
porque
listening to
me
her
llaman,
because
precisamente esta charla es de resultados
this
extraordinarios y
talk
así fue
was
como
about
ella
extraordinary
pues
results.
convenció, digamos,
That's
a
how she
su esposo, que sé que no
convinced
estaba
her
tan convencido, pues
husband.
bueno,
He
va a
was
ser
not really
resultados
convinced
extraordinarios, ¿no?
based on
Pues
extraordinary
muchísimas felicidades,
results.
Patricia, ¿sí o no, Diego?
Congratulations to
Enhorabuena
Patricia,
por...
right, Diego? Yes, we were paying
Sobre todo
attention.
algo que enfatizó
Something
Roque,
that Roque emphasized.
estas gráficas
This graph,
y estos elementos como los
these
rally de
things, the
extravaganas,
rally,
cómo
the
hacen
extravaganas,
detonar
how
negocios.
they
Por eso es tan
detonate business.
importante
That's
que
why
estén presentes
it is
en
very
lo que hace Omnilife,
important
porque están puestos en
to be
momentos
present of what
específicos en la vida.
Omnilife
Sabemos que su negocio
does.
puede reventar,
They're done in
puede detonarlo,
specific
puede ayudar
moments
a
of
crecer.
of
Un
the year
evento
that
puede
will
transformar
help
su
you
vida.
to
Así, por
grow.
supuesto,
These events
con Patricia y con muchos
will
otros se
help
ve
you to
claramente
change your
cómo
businesses.
ese
With
impulso de
Patricia,
venir, de
it is very
viajar,
clear
de
to see
construir
this
ese
thrust
negocio es
to
único.
come
Muchas
with your
gracias,
team
Patricia.
is unique. Thank you very much,
Momento
Patricia.
extraordinario, me
Patricia,
reafino mucho.
it was an
Y gracias,
extraordinary
Roque. Te mando
talk.
un abrazo
Rocky,
grande.
thank you very much. A big hug.
Nos
Thanks.
vemos.
We will see
Hasta
you.
luego.